Keir Starmer and the Labour government?
Oh, waste. He's ruined this country. Ruined this country. Nobody in England likes Keir Starmer.
It has to stop. A 13-year-old girl has been raped by 2 asylum seekers. And I was told that if I released this, I would be in contempt of court, and that I cannot release this due to this phrase, community cohesion.
So it wasn't a far-right conspiracy after all. In the dead of the night this weekend, the illegals were transported into the luxury Britannia International Hotel, ready to deal drugs, terrorize the streets while delivering food badly for Uber Eats and Deliveroo, and most horrifically, continue the unrelenting sexual attacks on our young girls. Can you believe that more than half of you are watching this video but not subscribed? So please do me a huge favour, click the subscribe button now, turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to all of our brand new Outspoken videos.
The 1st of August. Would anybody like to speak to me?
Now, what happened next was even more extraordinary, with those illegals immediately beginning work in our black economy, including as delivery drivers.
Look at this, guys. Yeah, tell me these ain't delivery drivers. Tell me these ain't delivery drivers, guys. Oh, shit. There we go. Georgina, I'm modding you. Georgina, message something quickly so I can see your name again.
But despite shocking threats and smears from the authorities, Antifa and the mainstream media, the mums of London decided they were not going to let their resistance to the whole-scale invasion of the United Kingdom and takeover of their local communities by people out to destroy the lives of their daughters see them be silenced. Now, completely destroying the narrative of the MSM, there was even soon a conga line. Brilliant. Indeed, I mean, the only real negativity reserved for slippery Starmer.
Straight to Keir Starmer and the Labour government.
Waste. He's ruined this country. Ruined this country. Nobody in England likes Keir Starmer.
And who could disagree with her? As our own Alex Phillips wrote to the pink protesters, "Dear wonderful women, I know who you are. You work bloody hard in your jobs and bloody hard for your families. You are straight-talking mothers and grandmothers ready to help anybody and give them a cup of tea, but also ready to give your own a clip round the ear. You are the soul of this great nation and will fight to protect it. It's the women that win wars at the end of the day, and you are ready to fight for your daughters and their daughters' daughters. You are modern-day suffragettes, and we owe you a debt of gratitude for your steely determination, but also your warmth and humour underneath that resolve. And bloody hell, have you been patient while the wankers of Whitehall have betrayed everything you have built? Starmer has picked the wrong people to mess with because you ladies do not give up. It's not in your DNA. All power to your elbows, you glorious ladies. I and the rest of Britain bloody adore you." But of course, none of that fits the narrative, does it? Because this weekend, the only violence actually came from the hard left Antifa mob in another part of London that was encouraged by scumbags like Diane Abbott and Narendra Kaur and Jeremy Corbyn.
Fascists and the far right are on our streets. They've been defiling our mosques. They're attacking desperate people who are refugees and asylum seekers within our community. There can only be one answer to this. We stand together, all of our communities. We stand together against all hate, be it anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, far-right racism or anything. We are a community united.
And look what happened after that call from Corbyn. Illegals taunting patriots out the window. But it was the hooded hard left mob responsible for the trouble as they happily chanted slogans like, "All cops are bastards."
All cops are bastards! All cops are bastards! All cops are bastards! All cops are bastards!
Can you move back, please?
So yes, that's the Be Kind left, right? That is the Be Kind left, so horrified by their own behaviour that they will not show their faces. And I just want you to imagine if that behaviour had come from the patriotic mums outside the hotel in Erpine outside the hotel in Canary Wharf, it would be leading every news bulletin in the country. You know that, I know that. But because it was the hard left, Jeremy Corbyn supported Antifa scumbags, it is ignored by the MSM, the regime media. As Chris Rose put it, a striking difference at the Barbican Hotel in London. Concerned parents peacefully protesting against illegal migration, no face masks, far-left agitators, military-style balaclavas to hide their identity, calling others Nazis. Can we talk about the far-left problem? Now, Vox Populi was on the scene and revealed the truth about the patriots who were there.
It's been a roaring success. Okay, the mainstream media and all the papers are going to be talking about how big the anti-racist protesters were, but this is a community here. These here are people who live day to day and have to, they understand more than anyone else what that hotel being in there. This is the square that they can't use. Just behind there is the park that they can't use to the children because they're too scared. The community has got together and I love it. So it's been a roaring success.
Yeah, by the end of Sunday, yesterday, it was the patriots who were actually punished by cops with, in Tommy Robinson's words, the decision to slap a Section 42 order on the Britannia Hotel.
There's a Section 42, Section 42 in place of the 2001. You're causing distress or harm to the resident of this hotel. Yeah, you have to leave now and not return within 28 days to this area. If you don't, you will be arrested. Okay?
So you're telling me that we're not allowed to come back and protest
for 28 days because you're causing distress or harm to the resident of this hotel.
Is there anything
if you don't comply with that,
we need the area to
you will be arrested. So you need to clear out.
Now remember, that was the scene where the patriotic pink protesting mums had been gathering, not the violent Antifa thugs. Although I should say the police did later clarify that they were targeting a specific group of protesters who they said were targeting the illegals inside the hotel. But all weekend long, there were examples up and down our great country of patriots expressing their fears for Britain in powerful democratic uprisings, while the hard left resorted to sickening violence designed to scupper free speech. As Douglas Carswell said, responding to these scenes in Manchester, centrist dads and Times columnists, it's not your country anymore. Meanwhile, 17-year-old Christian activist young Bob, you'll be horrified to know, was attacked by Islamists again.
Don't do that. Listen, don't do that. I will buy you. I will get it. I will get it. I will get it.
And look, we know where the anger should really be boiling over in the United Kingdom amongst mums and dads truly horrified about the threat that this unrelenting invasion of our southern border is posing to our children. Just this weekend, 2 Afghan illegals, Ahmad Mulakal and Mohammed Kabir, were both charged in connection with the alleged rape of a 12 or potentially 13-year-old girl, I'm not sure on that, in Nuneaton, a quiet Warwickshire town. The Mail on Sunday revealed one of the men has also been charged with aiding and abetting rape, as well as strangulation and kidnap. The girl now receiving specialist care, but I have no doubt her life will forever be changed. Despite the huge interest in the incident, sources told the Mail on Sunday that the Warwickshire Police advised local councillors and officials not to reveal the illegal background of the two suspects and the fact that they were from Afghanistan for fear of, quote, inflaming community tensions. As Colin Brazier put it, if true, this is staggering. And unfortunately, it does appear to be true. With Reform's 19-year-old wonder kid, George Finch, the leader of Warwickshire County Council, writing to the Home Secretary Yvette Cooper and Chief Constable of Warwickshire Police, demanding they disclose the immigration statuses of the two men charged. He wrote, as you will know, the alleged perpetrator is an asylum seeker who currently lives in housing of multiple occupancy. This has caused unease locally, as residents have very easily been able to join the dots together and have concluded that this man is an asylum seeker. Residents of Warwickshire can see that they have not been told the full story. This is a gravely concerning development. If these accusations turn out to be true, it indicates that organised crime centering around the abuse of young girls is present in Warwickshire. This is unacceptable. In light of this development, I am calling on the Home Office to immediately remove and rehouse all asylum seekers currently living in HMOs within Warwickshire. Our community has had enough of the Home Office breaking planning regulations to turn sections of local communities into unrecognisable ghetto-like zones. But first, we've always associated chocolate with weight gain. But did you know it's actually been shown to help with fat loss? Studies show that cocoa flavonols, the active compounds in high-quality cocoa, can support fat metabolism, improve insulin sensitivity, and even help reduce abdominal fat. But you'd have to eat so much chocolate to get those benefits that the sugar and calories would cancel them out, or worse, lead to weight gain, not to mention the heavy metals like lead and cadmium found in many cocoa products. This is why I drink Morning Bean by Verso. It's a rich chocolate blend with all the proven benefits of cocoa without the junk. Every batch is third-party tested for heavy metals, so you're getting pure high flavanol cocoa you can actually feel good about. Instead of caffeine, it uses theobromine, a natural compound in cocoa that delivers all-day energy without overstimulating your nervous system. Plus, its ingredients are shown to support muscle growth and performance, improve metabolism, and provide micronutrients from superfoods and electrolytes to rehydrate and fuel your body. So yes, chocolate can help you lose fat, just not in the candy bar form. Since tanking Morning Bean, I've turned my morning ritual into something that supports my energy, my metabolism, and my goals. So start your day with Morning Bean for research-backed detox, energy, and health. Click the link below or visit morning.ver.so/outspoken and use the code outspoken for 15% off. That's morning.ver.so/outspoken, or just click on the link in the description box below. But now, back to the show. Now, he's received criticism actually from the left for going much further at a press conference today with Farage. Watch this.
It has to stop. A 13-year-old girl has been raped by two asylum seekers. And I was told that if I released this, I would be in contempt of court, and that I cannot release this due to this phrase, community cohesion. That's the problem. They're trying to cover up the minority, the people that are coming over on boats illegally, and the people of Nuneaton are hurt. They've had enough, and that's why I'm urging all council leaders from all parties to join me in campaigning to stop the housing of illegal immigrants in HMOs with Serco and the illegal immigrants in hotels.
And well done for exposing the truth. Threatened, basically threatened, and told the public do not deserve to know the truth. It is absolutely disgraceful. In fact, it has shades of the same mentality at local level that led to Rotherham and the huge shock, not just we as a country, but the international community, who could not believe we'd sunk to those depths. Turning a blind eye, not telling the British public the truth.
Now look, what's so fascinating is all the left-wing media care about now is whether George Finch, the 19-year-old council leader, has potentially committed some type of contempt of court crime. Because this is how the left and the deep state and the establishment and the mainstream media work to cover up these very real stories. I'm actually glad that Nigel Farage defended him in that press conference. Now, Charlie Downs of Restore Britain has actually gone one step further today, claiming Afghans do not belong in Britain because of a host of devastating statistics showing that they are 22 times more likely to be convicted of sexual assault than Brits, 11 times more likely to be convicted of drug offences, 11 times more likely to be convicted of robbery, 6 times more likely to be convicted of violent offences, 6 times more likely to be convicted of possession of a weapon, and 4 times more likely to be convicted of theft. And Charlie Downs joins us now on the Superstar panel alongside Advanced UK leader Ben Habib, whose party is celebrating after securing the membership at the weekend of Tommy Robinson. And Ben Habib, we will talk much about your big coup and the big Tommy Robinson signing very shortly. But I do want to kick off with this incredible cover-up, Ben, of what feels like the Warwickshire Council not learning any lessons, sorry, not the Warwickshire Council, the Warwickshire Police and the Home Office not learning any lessons from the rape gang scandal and actually caring more about this so-called community cohesion, which doesn't exist, by deliberately piling the pressure on the mainstream media and Reform UK not to reveal the fact that the 2 men charged with this horrific rape, and of course we have to say, Ben, as we always do, yes, this is going through the court process, yes, they are innocent until proven guilty, but why can't we know? Why can't we know that these 2 men are Afghan illegals? I don't believe that that challenges contempt of court at all.
Well, it's straight out of the Southport playbook, isn't it? After Southport, we were told that the guy who stabbed one young girl 125 times before trying to behead her and stabbed the other 2 a similar number was actually a Welshman. We were told that by the Prime Minister. This cover-up effectively goes all the way to the top, from the police force, through the criminal justice system, to the Home Secretary, to the Prime Minister. And the reason that they're covering it up is because it completely invalidates their ideology, their fundamental belief that all of humanity should be allowed into the United Kingdom. And Charlie Downs is absolutely right to highlight the propensity of Afghans to commit various crimes over the propensity of normal British citizens. You know, if you go into a country which is effectively barbaric, a failed state that is Afghanistan, been at war for at least 22 years. Actually, it's never had peace, even before the last 22-year occupation by Western forces. There was tribal warfare. It was occupied by the Russians before that. And it goes back 150 years of non-stop warfare and failed statism. If you bring people from a barbaric state into the United Kingdom, do you suddenly expect them to behave like civilized individuals? Of course not. They're barbarians. If you bring barbarians to the UK, they will bring their barbaric behavior. But Starmer isn't prepared to face up to that, because that would do away completely with the whole thesis of multiculturalism, mass immigration, and at the root of which we've been hijacked by the Human Rights Act, which informs us that all of humanity is absolutely equal. It doesn't matter where they come from, what their cultural norms are, whether they hold us in contempt, whether they're antithetical to our culture and our views and our values. It doesn't matter. Everyone's blooming equal under the Human Rights Act, and we better just lump it. And that's the root cause of the problem. And unless we wake up to the fact that actually not everyone should be entitled to this come to this country, that we have to preserve civil society, that we've got to preserve our people, our culture, our constitution, and so on, and that we've got to make sure that to the extent that we have immigration, it's from people who are compatible and understand our constitutional Christian roots and the way that we behave normally in this country. Unless we do that, there shouldn't be any immigration whatsoever. That's got to be the minimum bar, hasn't it?
Indeed. And Charlie, are you saying, a bit like the Trump travel ban, just we cannot take any Afghans whatsoever because these statistics are just destroying us?
Why take the risk, Dan? Why take the risk? I mean, it's time for us to actually have a conversation about, essentially how we can actually draw judgments about groups of people on the basis of statistics. Because if you have conversations with a lot of regime-aligned journalists, they will tell you, they will respond to that data that I presented with statements like, well, it's not all Afghans. Like we remember recently Ian Dale on LBC saying to that woman who called in that she was a dinosaur for suggesting that Afghans coming here would have a propensity towards sexual violence, which we know that they do. But actually, and he seemed to claim that those coming here were seeking to escape from the violence of their home country. But we know that that's not true, because those who come here are the ones who are committing these most heinous of crimes. So it's time, I think, I'm amazed at the moment by how quickly the discourse is moving. I actually find it very encouraging, because even 2 years ago, if you had said, made the kinds of statements that a lot of people are now making in the mainstream about the fact that actually maybe we should be drawing value judgments about these cultures from these backwards countries, about how they have no place in Britain, and how we can't begin to, we can't take the risk of inviting even some of them here, because what benefit does it bring us? I mean, there's another aspect to this, I think, which Rupert Lowe, my colleague, has been raising recently, which is that a lot of those coming illegally, it's not just that they come from criminal, backwards, barbaric cultures, as Ben so rightly said. There is actually a conversation to be had here about the fact that these are very low IQ cultures. The average IQ in Afghanistan is 82, which is 20 points lower than the global average. These are people who do not have, broadly speaking, statistically speaking, high levels of impulse control, high levels of kind of understanding of second and third order consequences of their action. And so these are people that just shouldn't be in our country. It's as simple as that.
Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my face just to the bottom left to subscribe to this brand new independent news source, and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our brand new live shows, uncancelled interviews, and special royal episodes. Outspoken is also now available as a podcast, so you can listen to the show every weekday on the go, wherever you are.